Hello everyone, and welcome to The Shelf. Today, we'll be taking a look at Slayers' Software Sculptors DVD box set. Software Sculptors was started in 1993 by its three founders, John Cirabella, Sam Leibowitz, and Henry Lai. The idea for the company actually came to John Cirabella when he was attending a Star Trek convention.
Well, our exposure to it was definitely interesting. I mean, the way it started was actually at a Star Trek convention more than anything else. What happened was we were at I like Star Trek, and I went to a creation convention in New York City, and I noticed there was more anime booths there than anything else. It seemed to be they were selling more anime than actually Star Trek stuff. And I noticed that. I said to myself, maybe there's something here. And I started to look into the Japanese market, and I noticed the Japanese have a very big crossover. When they say software, they mean computer, video, and all those type of encompassing products. They usually have a video and they have some software that goes behind it. I figured we could try and do that because while the videos were starting to come here in the US, it was starting to catch on, nobody was concentrating on the software yet.
While they always had a focus on anime, they initially started with smaller, software-focused projects. Some of their earliest offerings were screensavers for Ranma 1/2 and Bubblegum Crisis. Software Sculptors also tried their hand at licensing, releasing various titles like The Record of Lotus War and Lam Beautiful Dreamer on CD-ROM. It didn't take long before larger companies in the space took notice of the small New York company, and in 1995, they were acquired by Central Park Media. The next year, Central Park Media acquired the North American distribution rights to Slayers, and began releasing the series on VHS and Laserdisc through Software Sculptors. After its initial run, Software Sculptors re-released Slayers in this DVD box set in 2000. Unfortunately for Central Park Media and Software Sculptors, this release didn't go smoothly. It didn't take long for people to notice that something appeared to be wrong with the Japanese audio. After reading about the issue from fans on the Anime on DVD forum, Central Park Media released a statement. There have been several issues raised among early buyers of the Slayers DVD box set regarding the quality of the original Japanese audio track. Some customers reported problems playing the Japanese audio with their current configurations. These discs were authored to play correctly in Dolby Digital Stereo, as clearly noted on all packaging and promotional materials. Viewers opting to watch these discs on other types of systems for which the discs were not intended may experience some issues. Due to the unusual nature of this issue, the symptoms experienced by the viewer will vary depending on their audio system. According to Central Park Media, only the Japanese audio track was affected, and no matter which language you selected, both would sound perfectly fine in stereo. Although some of their customers disagreed with this assessment, reporting audio issues with the Japanese track even when playing in stereo. Regardless, according to Central Park Media, if you intended to watch Slayers in Japanese, you could expect the following issues depending on your setup. In mono, it would play at a decreased volume, and in 5.1 surround, it would primarily play through the rear speakers. The cause of the problem was an inadvertent phase inversion of the Japanese tracks during the pre-authoring mastering stage. They didn't mention anything about providing a refund or offer to replace the defective discs. People weren't too happy about this recent development. Fans were canceling their orders, and critics weren't too happy with the release and let their readers know about it, with IGN's Emily Snodgrass giving the collection a 2 out of 10 for its sucky audio, and echoing fan criticism of CPM and how they decided to handle the situation, which apparently was to do nothing. The next month, on October 28th, Software Sculptors released a statement to try to remedy the situation. The issue has been top priority here at Central Park Media since it was discovered, and we have been looking into the possibility of remastering the DVD box set to include repaired Japanese audio, and then offering existing The Slayers DVD customers the opportunity to upgrade to the new version. We've been busy crunching the numbers and taking all of the mail we've received into consideration. Right now, our staff is working very hard to produce new DVDs that fans have been asking for, and our schedule is so tight that the earliest we could ship the replacement disc would be spring or summer of next year. We can't make any announcements on the matter, but for those who would like to be contacted if and when the ball starts rolling, we are establishing a registration form on our website that allows us to contact you in the event that we announce a remastering. They did offer to sell anyone who purchased the DVD collection the complete series on VHS in Japanese for $20, shipping and handling included. But by their own admission, that was far from a suitable solution. But the story doesn't end there. The numbers appear to have worked out for Central Park Media because they released an enhanced version of the Slayers DVD collection on June 11, 2002. Less than a month later, true to their word, on July 2, 2002, Central Park Media announced that they would be partnering with The Right Stuff to ship out DVDs as a part of their DVD replacement program. They also ensured customers that the new DVD collection has been remastered and tested, and the new set will feature a sticker indicating that it is the remastered version. The process for people to get their new DVDs was simple. All they had to do was send their old DVDs to Central Park Media and pay for shipping and handling. Then Right Stuff would send the remastered DVDs to the customer once they received the shipment from Central Park Media. If you were ever wondering why there are two different Software Sculptors Slayers box sets, this is why. If you'd like to learn more about Slayers, you can check out my documentary, which covers its entire production history. As for this particular set, it contains all 26 episodes of the first season of Slayers on 4 discs. However, this was the original release with the faulty Japanese audio track. So before I get to the set itself, I'd like to listen to how the original Japanese audio sounds. And since for all I know, this set's discs were replaced before I bought it, I'll be comparing it against the Japanese track streamed from Funimation's website. The audio for both the original DVD and Funimation's digital offering were recorded directly from my monitor speakers using the same microphone.
わかりづらかった？もう一回最初から話そうか。いや、いい。事情はよくわかった。しかしお前よく喋るな。そう？うん。事情がわかったからには聞かせてもらおうか。というわけで、多少はしょったけど、今までのいきさつはこれで全部話したはずよ。わかりづらかった？もう一回最初から話そうか。いや、いい。事情はよくわかった。しかしお前よく喋るな。そう？うん。事情がわかったからには聞かせてもらおうか。
I certainly wouldn't consider myself an audiophile, but I didn't hear much of a difference between the two. That being said, the audio was played back using normal stereo speakers, which Central Park Media said should play back normally, and it is possible that my discs were replaced, that streaming Funimation's audio affected its quality, and several other variables that we could consider. Maybe I'm mistaken, and you can hear a clear difference between the two. Let me know in the comments. Also, if you happen to have had first-hand experience with this DVD replacement debacle, I'd love to hear about it. Anyway, on to the unboxing. So let's take a look at the first disc, Disc A. Disc A includes the first 6 episodes, as well as some standard features, at least standard for this particular box set. Things like a Meet the Cast feature, the actor's bios, graphic novels, sneak peeks, and of course both English and Japanese audio with English subtitles. Now Disc B contains episodes 7 through 13 and contains special features like sneak peeks and yeah, that's mostly it. There's something called chapter stops, but not entirely sure what that is, to be honest. Here is Disc C, which contains episodes 14 through 20. And finally, Disc D, which contains episodes 21 through 26. And it includes the DVD-ROM special features, such as an art gallery, character gallery, the cast, scripts, a graphic novel page, character sketches, reviews, and there are actually written interviews with the English voice actors. This is definitely a really cool set to own if you're interested in watching Slayers. Specifically if you want each individual season of Slayers in its own distinct box set. Now Funimation did release Slayers, Slayers Next, and Slayers Try as one gigantic digipack, I believe, I think in 2009. But if you want each individual season of Slayers, I think this is probably your best bet. Thank you all for tuning into the first episode of The Shelf. If you liked the video, please like the video and subscribe for more anime related content.